Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of HG Movie Talk. Am I right there?
Yeah.
I am your host Harlan, and I'm joined here with my co-host, Mr. Beans.
First name Dean. We're all friends here. You can call me Dean.
Oh, my bad. And today is our first episode of News in Reviews or News and Reviews.
It
I
sounds like you're
think.
saying news in reviews, and
Okay, well, if you look at the title, there's obviously like an apostrophe, so you can kind
yes,
of.
but this is an audio format. We are
Okay, well,
entering their ears.
to click on the podcast, you need to see the title.
That's true. Well, okay. Let's stop talking about this and just okay. Basically, what we're gonna do, Harlan is our. I'm gonna call you a news anchor because that makes you sound more important than you are. That sounds like an insult.
Okay, be
But
that way.
he's going to present to us the news of the last 3 weeks.
Oh, yes, I have so many news to share with us today. So the first one um is the cancellation of Netflix's Jupiter's Legacy. Have you
Yes,
seen that show?
I have all of it somehow.
Was it I didn't watch it, if I'm being
It's
honest.
not. I mean, if it came out like maybe even like 6 years ago, I think people would have loved it. But I just didn't really find it that interesting. They kind of did an Arrow thing with half of it being set in the past and them getting their powers, and it just didn't really
Oh,
work for me.
I don't think it worked for anybody
No. And
because it was
did you hear how much it cost?
no, how much did it cost?
It costs more than like the last series of Game of Thrones. It costs like the same as one of the Marvel shows. It was like
Damn,
200 million.
it wasn't that good.
No.
But anyways, so they canceled that, and now they are making the first season of this show called Super Crooks, which is based in the same universe as Jupiter's Legacy, but it's
Hopefully
villains.
better.
Hopefully better. I think what they kind of picked up on is like if you got a dark superhero show, it's gonna go well for you.
Yeah, it would no, because it wasn't very dark. It was kind of trying to be political commentary, but I don't think it worked that well as that.
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna guess that this new show is called Super Crooks. I'm gonna take a solid guess. It's gonna say it's probably gonna be a little bit darker.
Yeah, at least about some villains, you know.
Yeah. Okay, and on to the next piece of information, the new Shazam suit.
Yes.
A lot of people were saying how much like I follow like an Instagram account for like all like news or whatever, and people in the comments were saying how much they hated the first Shazam suit.
I see lots of people saying that as well online, and I don't get it.
I thought the first one looked cool.
Yeah, I think it kind of was a bit too like inflated in some ways, but I do really like it.
It did look inflated, but it was kind of like that's the point. It's just
Yeah,
like this,
exactly.
and a lot of people talk about how they didn't like the lightning symbol, but they like it in this one.
I prefer the old lightning symbol, I think.
Yeah, me too. I think this one looks a little bit too small.
It's hard to tell when obviously
It's
they're gonna touch it up in
right.
post.
Yeah, you
But
can tell that there's a lot of stuff that
yeah.
they're gonna be touching up in these pictures at least.
But I also wonder what's the canon reason for him changing his suit? Because how does he do that? He's Shazam. He didn't like choose his suit or anything, and he can't get
Right.
changed out of it. So why does it change? Would be my question. Will they address it?
Do you think is like do you know what this new Shazam movie is gonna be about? Shazam Fury of the Gods?
No, I don't know. We don't really know anything. Is Black Adam going to be in it?
I don't know, because they're shooting the Black Adam thing right now.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see that. But we haven't really seen anything besides like a couple set photos.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's Mr. Mind, the caterpillar guy from the last one.
The
That'd be pretty
caterpillar
cool.
guy?
In the end credit scene, there was the caterpillar guy.
Oh, I barely remember that. Like barely. That's
It's
like,
pretty cool. Mr. Mind's a cool character.
is he? What is he about?
It's super goofy. He's literally like a
Oh,
talking caterpillar who's a super
well,
genius.
that should be interesting enough.
I love goofy stuff in comic book movies, so I'm all on board.
Me too. What's the next one? Let's see. I honestly kind of forget. Oh, She-Hulk.
Yeah.
We got some behind the scenes photos for She-Hulk. There's not a lot to say here. Have you known about I've known about She-Hulk for a while because I watched like the old '90s Hulk cartoon.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it should be. I'm really excited for this show. I think this might be like one of my most anticipated Marvel
Yeah, I'm
TV
very
shows.
interested now they're doing it because number one, obviously, Abomination is back, and I think that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And also, She-Hulk's a character who like breaks the fourth wall quite a bit,
Yeah.
and I think that's another interesting element. I think it's a very interesting character to choose.
I mean, I don't because there's this whole big. Do you follow Jay Stubes on TikTok?
Yeah,
She talked about how this thing about how in the beginning of like She-Hulk esqueness of her being in the Marvel comic universe, how she was like more very girlish figure.
yeah, like slim and
Yeah, but that was the idea that was her character.
yeah,
But then like now, if you look at her in the comic, she's like
Hulk. Well, not
muscles
that big.
upon muscles.
Yeah,
But I don't know, that should be interesting. I think there's a fine line they could walk on how She-Hulk is gonna look.
yeah. And is she going to be like taller? Is she going to be like?
I don't know.
Is she tall? I don't actually know if like
I
slim
think she
She-Hulk
grows.
is tall. Yeah, you'd think she would.
I mean, Bruce Banner does, so
Yeah, but also
I
he
should
gets
see.
very muscly.
He does get very muscly. But that's Hulk, not She-Hulk.
Look, what I want to. So She-Hulk's origin. This is like half the remembering, so I might get specific details wrong. But I think She-Hulk or Jennifer Walters, I think her name is,
Yeah, Jennifer Walters. I think that's her
was
name.
about to die, and then Bruce Banner gave her like a blood transfusion.
Yes.
And do you think they're going to go with something that daft in this?
They might.
Also, like Hulk's big now, so a blood transfusion probably isn't the best idea from that fella.
But I mean, she's gonna die, and it should be really interesting. I think. And
Yeah,
also, is she gonna be? Is she gonna be a redhead Hulk?
that's a good question. Oh, that'll be weird.
Red. That would be really weird. I don't think that'd look good. I think it'd look a little Jackal-esque. Have you ever played Street Fighter 2?
No.
if you're editing this, look up a picture of Jackal. I'm telling Dean in the future right now to
Okay.
look up a picture of Jackal. Not right now.
Okay.
In the future.
Hi, this is Dean from the future. Future's pretty nice. Not much has changed. This is just a message to Harlan to say I did look up Jackal Street Fighter 2 and nothing's coming up. I don't know if you spelled it wrong or anything, but do you mean Blanca? I know you can't reply, so this is a bit pointless, but enjoy the rest of the podcast. This is weird.
Okay, next one. Dude, I'm so excited for Michael Keaton's Batman.
I'm with you there. I think it's going to be interesting. At the bare minimum, it's going to be interesting. Whether it's good is another
Yes.
question.
I mean, it's Michael Keaton.
Yeah,
Can you really go wrong with Michael Keaton?
that's a good point. But I've lost faith in a lot of this stuff.
But Shazam, I mean, I think DC is kind of they're redeeming themselves a little bit
Yeah.
after, because like if you think about all the things that came out after Justice League,
But the last new thing was Wonder Woman 84.
that's true. That's true.
Just I have issues with Flash just because there's so much there. So there's two Batmen in it.
Wait, what other is Ben Affleck
Affleck,
confirmed to come back?
Yeah. And then they've
Ooh.
also like confirmed cast a Supergirl for it. And just how many and then there's just rumors of literally you could pick any DC character that's appeared in a movie and there's a rumor they're going to appear in it. And I'm just worried it's going to be overstuffed.
Well, I mean, I think like every like superhero movie coming out besides Black Widow has me worried about that. Because you got like you got Spider-Man, you got Thor, you got Flash.
Yeah. I just feel like Marvel, like I'm gonna sound like a Marvel fanboy or something here, but I think they're definitely better equipped to handle an overstuffed movie with their track record.
Well, now the Spider-Man track record.
That's true. This is Sony. Good point. I don't know. Also, I'm not a massive fan of Ezra Miller as the Flash so far.
He's all right. I don't think. Are you more of a Grant Gustin fan? Yeah,
early on in the show.
early on. Yeah,
I feel like Ezra Miller is a bit too goofy because, like, I don't think Barry Allen's super goofy.
I think he was a lot better in the Snyder Cut.
Definitely, but he might have been like obviously he had cool moments that looked good, but like personality wise, he might have been my least favorite out of the 6 of them in that.
And I think his character personality, like, I think a solo flick is going to do well for him.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, we're calling it a solo flick, but there's enough
It's
other
not really.
characters in there. Yeah, I hope it's still about him.
It's the same way as how Captain America Civil War
Yeah,
is like Captain America.
that's in a well-established universe when we already know all the characters. Where
Right.
they're literally introducing a Supergirl in a Flash movie. That just seems very.
Hopefully, those things are just like when he's running through the Speed Force and just like
Maybe.
sees something quickly.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm excited to see Michael Keaton, but I just wouldn't have chosen this project.
It should be interesting. To say the least. And also, there's like you got this blood splatter on him, which means something's gonna go down.
And it's kind of like Watchmen-esque, like the Watchmen.
It is
logo.
very Watchmen-esque.
And just don't bring the Watchmen into it as well.
Can you imagine? Okay, I want to see what's next.
Sure.
Oh, did you watch the clip of
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel kind of spoiling Black Widow?
Yes.
Okay, so do you watch Game Theory, that YouTube channel?
I used to. I don't think I've.
Oh no, technically it's Film Theory.
Okay.
Theory. However, Matt Pat did a theorizing that this actress on the right here is going to be the Taskmaster character.
Yeah,
it was a pretty intriguing, like probably, but the name that Jimmy Kimmel said is a different character of the comics.
Yeah.
That's why the name. I am interested now. This is making me more intrigued for Black Widow.
Yeah, I think so. What character did he say she is? Like, what's that? Her? It's like the Iron Maiden or something like that.
Yeah, Iron Maiden. I think that sounds right.
Okay, so Iron Maiden is like a member of the Winter Guard, which is kind of what David Harbour's been teasing, because the Winter Guard are like the Russian Avengers.
Right.
And like you've got Crimson Dynamo, who's like the Iron Man, and you've got whatever David Harbour's character called, who's like their version of Captain America. And it seems like they're setting that up. So I made a TikTok about this, and when they did the character posters for Black Widow, there was one guy who wasn't in literally any of the trailers or anything, and I think that guy is basically gonna be the Taskmaster.
That's really weird.
There's so many theories about Black Widow, about how Black Widow is going to come back to life and all that.
Because it's been out for so long.
Yeah, but like she's not going to come back. Yeah. So what's next? What are we talking about?
What's next? Let's see. Oh, Jensen Ackles in The Boys season 3 as Soldier Boy.
Dun dun.
I knew you were going to do that. I didn't even notice that like Soldier Boy is like a different. Like I'm like, oh, Jensen Ackles is going to play a character called Soldier Boy, but I said it in my head, so I didn't recognize it. And then I told my girlfriend, and I said Soldier Boy, and then like I was like, yeah. So
what are your thoughts on The Boys overall?
The Boys, okay. I just recently binged the entire thing.
Okay.
Like I'm a new fan of the show.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. I really liked it.
I love it. Yeah. So I did watch series 1. I think maybe not when. No, I think I watched it when it came out. I can't remember. But then I watched series 1 again, and then I watched series 2 while it was coming out. And I think series 2 was greatly improved for me by like the weekly releases. So like I did get a chance to binge it, and I really love The Boys, and I'm really excited to see where it goes next. Like there's some really good, like well thought out and well written characters in there.
I think every character, it's like, so there's no flat characters. Every character has like an extreme amount of depth.
Yeah. Like not the highlights for me. Obviously, I mean, it feels a bit dumb because they're the 3 main characters, but Anthony Starr is
Oh,
He is
so good.
one of the best acting performances like in a television show ever, I think. Like
Yeah, that's
he
fair.
completely nails it. And I really like Huey and Billy as well. And literally the worst like English accent I have ever heard in my life is Billy Butcher, but I don't care. I think it's still great.
Is it British? I thought it sounded like more Australian.
I don't know. It's kind of no, because he's from England. They've talked about it, but Carl Urban is Australian, I think.
It's kind of awesome though.
No, you
his
know,
accent.
that's the thing. Oh, yeah, let's talk like this. He's the worst accent I've ever had, but I love it so much.
It's so good. So it doesn't matter. You're not like phased by it. You're like, okay, this is
Yeah.
cool.
So Carl Urban, who
Yes.
is the actor, is New Zealand. He's a Kiwi,
Oh.
but the accent is supposed to be Cockney, which is
Oh.
from London town.
Yeah. Him and come on, what's his name? Dick Van Dyke. Him and Dick Van Dyke. Best Cockney accents.
Is on it. Yeah, like Dick Van Dyke can be quite painful for me at times. Obviously, I don't have a Cockney accent, but I'm used to people that do because like 50% of the people around me do, and Billy Butcher's is like probably worse than that, but I still love his. He pulls it off somehow,
Right.
and I think it's half of the time just because of the things he's saying. I think.
Right. It's like the swagger he has. So you're just like, all right, okay.
Yeah, it is a very well written character, I think.
Yes.
Billy Butcher.
But anyways, I'm really excited to see this Soldier Boy character.
Yeah, the caption in the thing was kind of like they're setting him up to be a rival of Homelander.
Oh, really?
Which is always fun.
That should be really interesting. I am still waiting for. Okay, I love this show.
Okay.
I love this show, but I'm still waiting for one good action scene.
Yeah, I think it kind of works in the way that like none of them actually get in fights. I like the idea that like people talk about who's going to win in a fight, Homelander or this character, but Homelander has never been in a proper fight.
But imagine how interesting that would be if Soldier Boy, somebody who like just look at him, this guy knows how to fight.
But that's what I kind of like that element of Homelander. Like he's literally so powerful that he's never been challenged or anything like that, and he can just do what he wants. But what I think would be
interesting is if like Soldier Boy got in like a actual fight, like he was like was able to use his powers to match Homelander's.
Yeah,
and he has like this fighting skill and just beats the crap out of Homelander, and then Homelander has to deal with that. I think that would be really interesting.
Whatever they're doing, I just have faith in this show after series 2. It's just so good.
It's such a good show.
Oh, I'm Billy Butcher.
Daddy's home.
It's hard to do an impression of Billy Butcher when we're trying not to swear on this podcast.
It's hard to do an accent of Billy Butcher unless you have like all of your confidence.
I can do a good one, but I just need to say certain words that I don't really want to.
Right.
say.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, I'm gonna move on now. What's next? Let's see. Oh, the new casting of Namor for Black Panther.
Is it a rumor or is it?
No, it's well, it was reported.
Okay.
So like technically a rumor, but kind of
under the radar. I really want Namor. I think he'll be great.
I don't know if I'll be able to pronounce his name exactly.
Go on, give it a go.
Tenoch Huerta. Tenoch. How would you pronounce that?
Don't ask me, okay?
Sorry, you Brit. Anyways.
What?
So he was reportedly casted as Namor in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and literally the toxicity of the internet, once that was reported, deep dived on all his social media accounts, found some rather racy things that he said, and like basically got him canceled, which is ridiculous.
It's pretty funny.
It is a little funny. Poor guy.
Oh, poor guy. I know I've never heard of him before this news came out.
Oh, me either. But
so I really like the idea of Namor being in it.
But I don't even know. this is another movie where I'm like, how are they going to do this?
Yeah, I think they should have delayed it.
Delayed Black Panther or introducing Namor?
Black Panther.
Well, I mean, because they probably had to rewrite it entirely.
Yeah, he had the whole script written, and they were like gonna start shooting like not that soon after.
Wow. And then we lost one of the greats, and then now
Rest in
rewrite it
peace,
entirely.
Chadwick Boseman.
But it should be interesting to see, because like first of all, we have no clue what they're going to do with the Black Panther character.
No.
They said they're not going to recast. They said they're not going to do CGI.
Yeah,
what are they going to do?
Which makes me I think I'm more interested in how they're going to address it than how they're going to replace him, because are they just going to say he died off screen?
That would be so lame. That would be a huge disservice to the character.
I feel like obviously I don't think you can keep him in it for very long, but if I was in charge, I would have him be in the movie for like 5 minutes, just because you do need to, like, you can't just like, oh, he died, like, just like that. I think there needs to be
Or maybe like after the multiverse of madness, there'll be like a crack or something, and maybe it's going to be like, oh, sure, he was always Black Panther or
that's
something like
not
that.
a bad idea, actually. Yeah, that's
I
pretty
feel like that
interesting.
would be the easiest way.
Yeah, I like the idea. I mean, completely disregarding what you just said, I like the idea of, so the king of Wakanda dies, and then Namor, this other king, it's like, oh, let's just go and invade Wakanda while they don't have any king. I think that would be quite interesting way to do it. And I feel like this movie is definitely gonna have a like message, like how the first Black Panther movie had a message about climate change. I think doing anything with Namor in
yeah, they're probably going to have
and
to talk
and
about
like
that.
his argument's going to be like, hey, I don't like climate change, which like they tried to do in Aquaman, but I don't think they did that very well in Aquaman.
Aquaman is fine. It is a popcorn movie. That's what I give it.
I do really enjoy it, but like that's just a weaker part of it. Speaking of Aquaman, should we move on?
Yes, that's the next one. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Lost Kingdom.
He
and
said,
the Lost Kingdom.
I honestly thought that was your accent then, and I was about to make fun of you for speaking funny.
No, I just speak funny, Rand. That's just me.
What do you think of this title?
I mean, it looks like they're going a different direction from the first one.
Yeah.
This one looks very grim.
I don't want it to be grim. I want it to be really goofy. I want it to be dumb.
Also, like okay, so I love the direction they went with Aquaman's character. However, Jason Momoa doesn't really fit that at all for me.
I kind of get where you're coming from.
Because he's a grim-looking dude.
Yeah.
He looks scary.
Yeah. I think the real interesting part of this movie for me is Amber Heard. And what are they going to do with that?
I'm surprised they haven't fired her yet.
Honestly. I think they can't probably break her contract yet, because Johnny Depp was actually found of doing something wrong in a court. So then all the movie companies could like fire him, but Amber Heard hasn't been like actually, what's the word? Prosecuted. That's probably not the right word.
Oh, but she's such whatever. I don't like her.
I never really thought she was an amazing actress.
Well, no, I mean she's easily forgettable. Like I forgot that she was even in Aquaman.
Yeah, get Emilia Clarke. She would do great. She's good.
Yeah,
she's good in stuff.
Well, Emilia Clarke
is in Secret Invasion.
Yes, she is, but we don't know who she's going to be.
She's going to be Mira, Aquaman's wife in Secret Invasion. That's a plot twist.
Yeah, so Aquaman looks very depressing, which makes me depressed.
Do you know Namor's wife is called Namora? What kind of like...
That is possibly the most stupid thing I've ever heard.
I just don't get it, you know? Sorry, just talking about a mirror made me think that. And I'm just going to double check I'm not lying to you.
Dude, it would be so funny if you're just wrong.
Oh, no. Oh, no, sorry, I am wrong. She's the cousin of Namor.
What's the wife's name?
I don't know if he has a wife. Should we have a look? I
He
don't know
doesn't
that
have a
much
wife.
about Namor.
Like Namora, that makes sense if it's his cousin.
I don't think it does make sense. Is your cousin called Harlana? That's still dumb.
Well, then they got the same parent. I mean, they got like family. It could be like a family.
Okay, this
name.
isn't great. I go on to partnerships and it says Namora. Oh, so there's a mutant clone of Namora called Namorita.
Oh my god! What the hell? Did they not think of
Namorita.
anything?
It's
Namorita?
Namor and then ITA. Namorita.
So, and wait, did they have like a relationship? What happened here? You said
I'm
relation-
literally on Wikipedia. It's hard to tell. I'm gonna Google Namor wife, and if it says name, I don't know what else you can put on the end.
Namores or
Oh, it's Dorma. It's his wife apparently.
okay, I guess that's better.
Like people that know this stuff are gonna get so angry at us. I don't know that anything about. I know he wears green speedos. He's got.
Yes,
They better
got
keep that. I want green
rock hard
speedos.
abs.
Yeah, can we have green speedos? I think that's gonna be pretty funny.
I think that'd be a good addition to the
And he's got
MCU.
little wings on his feet that makes him fly.
Yes, I think that's very important to keep.
I don't know if they can get rid of the wings because people are going to revolt in the streets. There's going to be riots. He was
Okay,
the first ever Marvel character. You can't just get rid of his winged ankles.
okay, we're going to the next one. Oh, we got well, this is not news to you because you don't have HBO Max in Britain, but they're gonna release a Blue Beetle movie, which is a DC character, on HBO Max.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to watch this movie. I'm sure someone will buy it off Amazon.
Wait, do you guys not even have HBO over there?
No,
Really?
no.
Wow, that sucks. Because they're gonna be doing a bunch of things on HBO Max.
Yeah, I don't know. I will like. Obviously, they're not just going to go. Nope, the UK aren't going to watch it. I think their options are they give us HBO Max, or they just sell everything they have to a different streaming company, and we get it all on like Amazon or something like that.
I mean, just because HBO Max is like relatively newer, I imagine eventually it'll get a
Yeah,
release over there.
I don't actually know because they might not because we don't even have HBO. You know, one thing at a time. We can't have a
yeah.
Max version of something we don't even have in the first place.
Do you know anything about Blue Beetle?
I honestly, I've done a bit of research on Blue Beetle for my Dream DCU stuff, and I know.
Oh,
I know there's a couple of them, like there is most superheroes to be fair nowadays.
that's fair.
But I know like his relationship with Blue Beetle. I know more about that stuff, and that's what I'd want to see rather than Blue Beetle. I'd want to see Blue Beetle and Booster Gold just because I really like Booster Gold.
I don't even know who that is.
Booster Gold is like a guy so he's a character from the future, and he travels back in time, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna become a superhero, and like he's like, oh, I'm a famous person from the future, but he's actually just a fraud, and he's not actually a superhero.
That's interesting. I guess we'll see though. I mean, who knows?
Who knows?
The only thing I know from Blue Beetle is there was this not Batman the animated series, but I think it was called Batman and Beyond or something.
Batman Beyond.
Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was called.
He's in Batman Brave and the Bold, I think.
Batman Brave and the Bold. That's what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
That was a good show. Batman Brave and the Bold is a good show.
I mean, I haven't seen it in like a very long time, but
I think it's on HBO Max.
oh, I'll go watch it then. Oh wait.
Next one.
Ooh, next one. Pip Pip Chilio.
Batwing.
Batwing. Yes. In Batwoman. I mean, it's a weird choice as well because number one, I don't think it's that weird choice going, oh, who's a Bat family member? Let's bring in Batwing. Like, that's a random choice. But to be fair, if you were like, let's make a TV show starring a member of the Bat family that isn't Batman and make it all about them, I don't think your first choice is going to be Batwoman. She's going to be pretty far down that list.
Yeah.
Like
I
you'd
don't
even go
know.
Batgirl first. I don't know. Like I knew nothing about Batwoman before this show came out,
Yeah. Nobody knows anything about Batwoman. Let's be real here.
and
Even the
and
people that watch the show probably don't know much about her.
and they've changed the casting of Batwoman now because Ruby Rose quit.
Right.
And like that, it's a different character now. They're not recasting Ruby Rose. There's going to be a different.
Yeah, it's new entirely, which is interesting, but whatever.
It's Black Panther all over again, just for less sad reasons.
Yeah. Anyways, I think the suit looks dope,
The suit does look good. I want to see it in motion, but yeah.
but the picture on the right, got a lot of flag because it looks terrible. Because CW just doesn't really know how to do their posters, do they?
No, I think it's just the background, isn't it? And like the weird focus thing they've done.
Because did you see that other? Oh, I don't have that. I could probably just throw it in here real quick.
I know we make fun of like being in the UK a lot, okay.
Okay.
But you
yeah,
know what does really upset me?
What?
That I cannot officially watch Superman and Lois yet.
You can't?
No, it's not.
I
on the
haven't
thing.
watched it at all.
I
honestly
love
not
Superman, and
going
I've
to.
seen like the first 5 minutes. Apparently, Superman and Lois is really good, and I really like Tyler Hoechlin as Superman, and I just want to watch it now. You know, I might just. I'm not going to watch it illegally because I'm recording this.
Oh, obviously not. That's unacceptable. Okay, so yeah, I got the picture of the Flash up here. Not the Flash. This new character that's coming into.
Oh, I think I have seen it. Is it Impulse?
Yeah, I think it's Impulse.
Yeah, Impulse. Oh yeah, it looks.
It looks bad. Whatever they did
his
here.
head is leaning down, like below the nose, but then everything above the nose is looking straight forward. Like his face is bent.
It's so weird. It's just a terrible poster.
Yeah.
It looks like he's falling over, but standing straight up too.
I don't know. It's interesting they're introducing Impulse because Impulse is in the comics. It's either Barry's son or Barry's grandson, but
Well,
they introduced Barry's daughter, and that's a different character to who she is in the comics.
dude, what the heck? I don't even know what they're doing on that show. It's so bad now.
I stopped after Crisis on Infinite Earths. That's as far as I can
Oh,
get.
well, I didn't even bother messing with that. I just like watched the episode that was because I just binged the Flash,
Yeah.
and there was such that one weird Nazi episode, and you just gotta go, okay, then watch the next one and get back to the normal story.
Oh, just the Flash, you know, they need to. I hope it ends soon, to be honest.
It should. I mean, nobody's really who's still watching the Flash.
Yeah, like like the first 2 series were amazing. I didn't. Did
Yeah.
we talk about this on live? Maybe I think I'm thinking of not on podcast.
Maybe we did.
But I've definitely talked about this with you before. But like series 1 and 2, great. Series 3, bit dicey, and then just
Yeah,
downhill.
3 is dicey. And then what was 4? Who is the villain on?
That's the Thinker, I think.
That's it. Yeah, that's. I watched
Thinker
that
Ring,
and then I
it's the
stopped.
Thinker.
Yeah, not Brainiac.
If I was Thinker Ring,
Thinker.
and then Peter Capaldi is playing the Thinker in Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad.
Oh well, see, that's better because it's gonna be different.
It's going to be better. I think you mean.
Yeah.
I think you mean the Suicide Squad movie is going to be better than Series 4 of The Flash.
Oh, so it's wait, is it Suicide Squad or the Suicide Squad?
It's the Suicide Squad.
Oh my god, that's gonna get so confusing.
The only way to differentiate between the 2 movies is Suicide Squad and the Suicide Squad.
Why didn't they just like name it Suicide Squad 2?
Because it's kind of like a soft reboot, I think. But you could come up with a different name because now people are going to be like, "Oh, I've already watched this movie. Why would I?" Like the general public isn't going to know the difference. I don't think it's great. It's like a similar marketing ploy to calling a movie Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn.
Yeah, nobody knew what that movie was about.
And they renamed it after it went into cinemas.
What is it named now?
Like Birds of Prey and Harley Quinn or something like that. Or maybe Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey.
I don't know. I have no clue. I'm like halfway through that movie. I still don't. Well, no, I'm like a third in. But
I like it. I like it. I haven't watched it since I watched it in the cinema. It is on DVD behind me, but I haven't seen it.
Seems like it's good, but nothing. I feel a little awkward when they have like mentioned the Joker or they show the back of Joker's head, and I just know it's not Jared Leto.
Yeah, but that makes me happy. I really
Oh.
like that.
Are you a hater of Jared Leto?
Yeah, not
See-
just as the Joker, just as a person, as an actor.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just
Um,
I think he's the only actor that I like dislike personally, unless they're like a sex offender.
well, right. Kevin Spacey, what a chap. But Jared Leto, screw that guy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not a fan of.
Obviously not. Kevin Spacey's a terrible person.
I've now got that on recording. I'm gonna release that. But
anyways, yeah, I like to clown on Jared Leto's Joker a lot, but he's fine. Honestly, for me personally, I don't have anything super against it. Obviously, the worst.
Do you not think he was terrible in Zack Snyder's Justice League? Like, do you not think that was such an awful scene? Like, I can't get.
It wasn't like I don't know. I would go saying awful. It was definitely unnecessary. It was.
I just didn't like any, and it's all like, oh, Batman. It's just the worst.
I mean, it seems I don't know. It's like I think like the nerd in me like dismisses everything Joker is like, oh, because he's crazy. But I don't know. It was fine. Everything in the Snyderverse in the Snyder Cut is fine.
Do you not think Martian Manhunter, is that not bad? When he's all like, I'm Martian Manhunter.
That was bad. That was weird.
That was weird.
That was worse than the nightmare scene.
See, you say everything's fine, but I think everything exists on a scale of one of the worst things I've ever seen to like pretty cool. Like there's some.
Yeah, I mean, if you're comparing it to everything else, it's pretty good.
Yeah, there's some really bad moments, and I think there's some really great moments in the Snyder Cut.
Really, what's like a really bad moment from the Snyder Cut?
Just the anything to do with Martian Manhunter and anything to do with the Joker. There's still some weird, like I think the plot for a 4-hour-long movie, the plot is kind of thin and like there's some weird things that don't make sense about it.
I think the things that were like added on, like I think there was a couple of scenes where Zack Snyder never had any intention of putting that in the movie.
Yeah,
fans really wanted it, so he was like, might as well. And that was like the entire last part of the movie.
Do you remember when Wonder Woman literally killed a guy and just obliterated him?
Just smash him into a wall.
And then this little girl is like, "Hey, Wonder Woman, I want to be just like you. I want to be insane."
Yeah, superheroes.
And just
Valkyrie.
Yeah, I'm not going to get too much into this, but just there's like Darkseid's whole thing of, I've lost the anti-life equation, I don't know where it is pretty dumb as well. Like I don't get it.
Well, a lot of things in DC are dumb, for being honest with ourselves.
And let's talk about the Snyder Cut, okay? I'm not.
Okay.
I saw a DVD for it today, and I was like, "Oh, should I get it?" And I'm like, "I'm not going to watch it." So
4-hour DVD. Okay, and I think this is my last one.
Last piece of news.
We get our first kind of real look at what the character is going to look like for Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
And then I think Chris Hemsworth posted this yesterday. Or was it Chris Pratt? One of them.
For Chris Evans' birthday.
Yes.
Just to throw all the Chris's in that we can.
Yes. Yeah. I'm confused just talking about it, if you can't tell. I'm really excited to see Star-Lord in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, I'm very interested by all of Thor's different outfit choices in this movie.
Yeah, because like there's gonna have to be a reason.
Yeah, and they've gone back to long hair. I think Taika Waititi said in his interview the other day, he's like, everything people love about Ragnarok, there is a lot more of in Thor: Love and Thunder, and literally every idea we had, we put into the movie.
That's so cool.
So, yeah, if it was like Zack Snyder saying every idea we had, we put into the movie, I'd be like, oh no, this is going to be a train wreck.
Yeah.
But it's Taika Waititi. I'm like, every idea that man had is going to be great. And like, I'm not saying Zack Snyder's a bad director, but
I just had this theory,
okay,
but I
go on.
think Thor's like new outfit is going to be some of like it's going to be from Star-Lord's gear.
Yeah,
It's going to be his
I mean,
clothes.
it's kind of 80s, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think that would make sense. Or like he would dress him or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm interested that they've also gone back to long hair after.
Well, I mean that makes sense if you think about it.
Yeah. It's just that the short hair wasn't around for very long.
No, it wasn't, but it was needed.
If you see now, I've grown my hair out. I look exactly like Thor.
Oh yeah, when we got in the Zoom call, I was a little concerned. I'm like, oh, sorry, Chris, wrong Zoom call. But
Were you not like trying to jump on the opportunity of trying to start a podcast with Chris Hemsworth?
no, I mean he's a busy man, and
That's true.
I think his biceps would be able to punch me through the screen.
And like
Not his fists, his biceps.
and he lives in Australia. That's like a bit of an annoying. Oh no,
Yeah.
it's more annoying for me actually. Anyway,
Is it? I don't know.
yeah, you Americans are so.
I don't know the time. Yeah, I mean you know the time zones around you because it makes more sense. I know.
I don't
Time
know the time
zones.
zones around me. The UK is one time zone, and I don't care about the rest of Europe and their time zone. I know that I know like most of them are like an hour ahead, and that's about it.
No, you're 6 hours ahead. So
Yeah, I'm more
whatever.
than 6 hours ahead of you. I'm about 10 years ahead of you in coolness. Okay, why do we always
That one
resort
really
to
hurts. That one hurt me. Anyways, that is it for the news. We got a lot of good amount of news.
Yeah, I don't think I have many reviews. So
We got Loki.
Loki, yeah. Well, I mean, we're not very far in at the moment.
We are in episode 1. By the time this comes out,
It'll be 2 episodes out. So Loki episode 1. Everyone's seen episode 2 by now. So if we start doing some wild theorizing, I think we'll be wrong.
here's what I want to see in episode 2.
Okay.
I want to see
Another shirtless Tom Hiddleston scene. That's my wish.
dude, that's what I'm waiting for. Dude, I just wish you saw that bottom half. You got the top half. I think now is for the bottom reveal. Just his tight calves. That's all I want to see.
I reckon he does have proper good calves.
He probably does have pretty good calves. Pretty tall dude.
Is he?
Lot of
Is Tom
bounce.
Hiddleston tall?
He's like 6 foot something.
That is pretty tall.
It is pretty
I was
tall.
thinking about this, like I have no idea, like how you could be like 5 foot tall, and I had no idea.
How tall are you?
I think I'm 6 foot. Yes.
Oh, you're 6 feet
So
exactly.
no, for ages I was telling people I'm 6'1", but I'm actually like 6'1.5" because I had to measure myself recently. So I've been lying to a lot of people.
See, I lie to people, and I'm actually 5'8".
Okay.
But I tell people I'm 5'9", because if you revert that back into inches, I'm 69 inches tall.
So that's a well-founded lie. I get that.
Yeah, but like I'm like 5'8.5", so I might as well round up.
Yeah, no, I respect that. You can lie about your height all you like. Just don't lie about important things, you know?
Right.
I don't have an example of one right now. Speaking of lying, let's talk about Loki.
Loki. Yeah, getting back on track. I thought
all we talked about was his calves, and that was it.
Honestly, that's all we need to talk about.
Yeah,
No,
it's all I care about. Just watching it for that.
Well, what I want to see in episode 2, everybody already knows Lady Loki is going to be like
in it.
the thing. Yeah.
We don't know if she's the villain. I still think it's King Loki.
Potentially, but I think there were some behind the scenes photos of a Lady Loki.
No, so I think Lady Loki's going to be in it, but I don't know if she's going to be the villain.
Right, but I think I don't know. We know that Loki at the end of this show, the TVA is going to be screwed.
Yeah, I think the TVA is a corrupt organization, and they're going to be like the big villains. I think.
Probably, but like they're doing something good. I mean,
Yeah, but like what I think is, so in episode 1 in the TVA, literally nobody has any idea what they've done wrong and why they're there, and like they've got no idea what the TVA is. And I think if you're portraying the TVA like that, you're not portraying it as like a pretty good organization.
right. Yeah, it should be interesting.
And like to open up the multiverse, I think you're gonna have to knock them off.
Right. There's something's gonna, because we know that within these next couple Marvel movies, everything's gonna be screwed with the multiverse.
Yeah.
So it should be interesting. I guess we'll see. Something I really liked from episode 1 was all the Infinity Stones.
That's cool. I gasped audibly when I saw that. Like a nerd. I was like, what the heck is going on?
So Loki took the Tesseract, right? He took the Tesseract away from that universe. Isn't that like timeline screwed now?
I think they're gonna return. It's interesting, isn't it?
Wait, no, because they
reset it, didn't they?
That they reset the world. But I think it's resetting the world. They didn't show what it is. That was on purpose. But I think it like kind of like destroys that world.
Yeah. So resetting the world would be like placing another Infinity Stone. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
I don't think. Okay, so the resetting, we never really got shown what that was. I think that's on purpose. But I think it literally kills everybody.
Yeah. My question is, if they have so many Infinity Stones, how often does a random person just pick up an Infinity Stone and then just break the time stream? Like, how often does that need to happen? And like, they're just, yeah.
Well,
it's a cool thing. It just takes some thinking.
Because the Infinity Stones only work in the universe of which they were created.
Yeah.
So like you could take all the Infinity Stones and like jump in, but odds are only like 1 or 2 is going to work in whatever universe you're in.
But like, there's only one universe in this.
But there isn't. But there is.
It doesn't make sense, does it?
Then they destroyed it. But what also doesn't make sense is their whole like, oh, the Avengers going back in time, that was supposed to happen. That what you did wasn't. But Steve Rogers going back in a different timeline and staying there, that was supposed to happen.
What doesn't this is the bit that doesn't make sense to me, okay? Is when they're like, okay, so the Avengers are supposed to go back in time, but the only reason they went back in time to the 60s, which they were supposed to do, is because Loki stole the Tesseract, which he wasn't supposed to do. So if he doesn't steal the Tesseract, then why do the Avengers go back to the 60s?
Exactly.
And this is what I mean when I say they're just a bunch of dumb bureaucrats, and that's why it's going to be dismantled. They're talking a load of rubbish. These timekeepers or time masters, they can be time lords for all I care. They're gonna be gotten rid of. I think they're gonna be shown in quite a humorous light when we meet them.
And it also completely destroys another thing, another theory I had. So the theory that I had about how Captain America was old at the end of Endgame is because that was a Captain America from a different timeline who traveled to this one.
It doesn't make sense. You can't adding time travel to a big like it was cool in Endgame, but once you add time travel, it just kind of like Harry Potter. It kind of broke that.
Harry Potter has time travel?
In the 3rd movie, they have time travel, and not in any others.
I haven't seen any of the Harry Potter movies.
Wow.
So,
you Americans.
That's like your Bible over there, isn't it?
Sure. We all read it every night before we go to bed.
I mean, it's not like you guys actually. It's not like you guys have a Bible over there, right?
No, not at all.
You are all just atheists. That's everybody there. Or, come on. What are non-magical people called in Harry Potter? Muggles. You guys are all.
Yeah, but in the world of Harry Potter, the Americans call Muggles no-magers, which is stupid. Sorry, that was a little heated. Okay. Let's stop talking about Loki, who is also a lovely English gentleman, may I ask. Those calves belong to the Queen, for goodness
He's
sake.
not English. He's a god.
Tom Hiddleston is English and he speaks with an
You
English
didn't say
accent.
Tom Hiddleston. You said Loki.
All the Asgardians speak with an English accent, which is dumb because they should be speaking with a Swedish accent, which I would love.
Dude, that'd be awesome. I wouldn't be able to take any of them seriously.
Like, can they just like recut one of the films with just them doubling over their own audio?
What does a Swedish accent sound like?
Do you know like the Swedish chef from the Muppets? Yeah, that's like the
that?
stereotype of a Swedish accent.
I just want the Swedish chef to just like dub over everything that I consume.
It's like the guy from Frozen who's like, "Yoo-hoo, big summer blowout."
Dude, oh my god. Okay, so that's like arguably one of the most iconic quotes ever of all time, right?
Okay, sure.
Of Frozen. It's one of the
Yeah,
most iconic
definitely.
quotes. I went around my house and I'm like, hey guys, what's this quote from? Yoo-hoo, big summer blowout. Nobody could name it. Me and my sister have watched that movie over a dozen times. I'm gonna say.
Okay. Do we have anything else to review?
Oh, whatever. Sorry, it's going off on my Frozen tangent.
No, it was a good story. I just didn't want to humor you. You know, you need to.
So, I watched the movie Bad Education, and I saw that you watched that too.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on it?
It was good. Yeah.
It was good.
It was pretty good.
It's kind of like
Interesting.
what my favorite type of movie is like one of those movies where
Hugh Jackman's in it.
That's him, my man. No, where like you go through a movie and like you don't know what's going on and you kind of have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Along with everybody. That's what my favorite type of movie is.
That's kind of like that. I get that. Speaking of movies that you don't know what's going on, I watched Nobody, and I missed the first 5 minutes because my train was cancelled to get to the cinema, and that was kind of a mystery for me, trying to figure out what was going on in that movie.
What was the mystery? Like you didn't know like the name character name?
No, so basically there was a whole thing. So at the start of the movie, Bob Odenkirk's house gets broken into, and like you can kind of tell that Bob Odenkirk used to be like a big military guy. Yeah. And like they keep talking about, I heard what happened when people broke in, and I had literally no idea what he did. Like, did he kill the robbers?
I think he killed them.
And he didn't kill the robbers because they're in the movie later. Spoiler alert. But I mean, you'd know this if you watched the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Right.
So I think he let them go, but his son's got a black eye.
Oh no! And didn't like? Isn't there a bracelet or something?
Yeah, and they stole. He thinks they stole his daughter's bracelet.
Huh.
But it's pretty good. Like the action is like proper, like violent. It's like John Wick, but
you know what's interesting? Nobody in America uses proper as an adjective.
It's
like
proper.
That. Is
well,
that like a
because
big
I'm
thing?
proper.
Whatever.
I've got a proper accent.
Proper. Nobody says that here. Is that like a common phrase used in the UK?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't really. It's hard to tell because I just say it. You know. Do you know what I mean?
I did know what you mean. Any other movies? Anything else?
Bo Burnham's Inside.
Oh, good. Such a good.
See, this is the thing. I've never been like a massive fan of Bo Burnham. I think he's definitely got one or two like really good songs. Like I really like Art Is Dead, and I really like Sad. And I watched this, and like I didn't find the jokes that funny a lot of the time, but I still think it was amazing, just by the way it was made, and like and like the editing and the writing. I think it was very well made, and like I really like the ideas. Like I kind of like the people were like, oh, it's not funny because it's so deep. I kind of like that element of it.
Yeah, it's not I wouldn't call it a comedy.
Yeah, but like there's obviously jokes in it, and I just didn't find the jokes particularly funny, but I still really, really loved it. I think I gave it like 4.5 stars on Letterboxd. I thought it was very well made. Just I didn't find the jokes funny, and that's my one complaint about it.
I mean, there are definitely like a few couple songs that I am not a big fan of.
Yeah.
I'm
Go
not a
on,
big
name
fan of
one.
that. What?
Name one.
Name one. The FaceTime with the mom.
I quite like that. I thought that I didn't like sexting.
I like
I don't
sexting
like
more.
sexting. Now let's talk about Burnham's inside. Sorry.
Good one. Ew. Because I don't think I really relate to the FaceTime one. at
Yeah,
all.
I've never FaceTime my mum.
But so that one I don't know. But they're all good. I'm listening to the soundtrack every night before I go to bed.
On it, the one I keep listening to is it's quite difficult to like find on YouTube and stuff, but it's called Comedy.
Oh, that's a really
And
good
it's
one.
like the second one
I'm a
when
special
and
kind of
everyone
white
like if you're on
guy.
TikTok, it's like I'm a special kind of white guy. I think it's really good. And I also like the one, oh, what's the name of it? I'm gonna see if I can find the name of it. Let's open Spotify. But it's
The
the one where
internet one?
he talks about how like he's done loads of bad stuff and he dressed up as Aladdin. Problematic.
Problematic.
I
That's
like
that's
that
a good
one.
one. My favorite one
Yeah.
is the internet one.
Welcome to the
Welcome.
internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good as well.
I think that was
know.
my
It's definitely it's very very well made, and like the ending is so good.
yeah.
Like the last like 20 minutes maybe when it's all like you can kind of tell he's broken a bit.
Yeah.
I also really liked the unpaid intern reaction. That was fun.
Yeah.
And the entire time I'm watching, I'm like, how did he do this? This is
Dude, I've been like racking my brain that so much. I think really what had to happen, I think what he had to do for that is he wasn't watching anything.
I think it was just very well rehearsed.
Yeah, I think he just literally memorized it all.
And you can kind of see how well rehearsed a lot of this stuff is when there's bits at the moment when he starts singing and he's like, oh no, I did that wrong. I'll start again.
Right. Yeah.
And that's kind of, I really like okay, this is kind of a weird analogy because in the movie Yesterday,
Never seen it.
it's so good. So there's a bit, it's just because I'm a Brit and I love the Beatles, Paul
All the
McCartney.
Beatles.
There's a bit when so this guy obviously is pretending to have written all the music of the Beatles. And
Mhm.
James Corden, the worst Briton alive, is like, do you not know no British people have liked James Corden anymore since he went to America?
Nobody likes James Corden. I mean, he's fine.
I
We
don't know.
accepted him.
I think we've all like disowned
Banished.
him. We've disowned him. He has created one of the best comedy TV shows ever, and that's called Gavin and Stacey. But yeah, so he says, oh, this is kind of amazing in a world where 16 people write one song, you're doing it all by yourself. And I think that's what's so fascinating about this to me when you're watching it, because it's literally just one room and one man.
And it looks beautiful. Like
it does.
Like probably one of the most pretty movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, like he's done a very, and it's very well done, I think.
Have you watched like Make Happy and his other stuff?
No, I've seen what?
I really like Make Happy too. There's some good songs.
I haven't seen Make Happy. I've tried to watch some of them in the past, and like I like individual songs on their own, but I've never really been invested in the overall special. I've never like found every single song compelling enough to watch the entire thing, if you know what I mean.
Right.
But I might try watch more stuff now I've seen this.
Right, yeah. And it's interesting because like Bo Burnham came from YouTube.
Yeah.
And I think he's one of him and like Justin Bieber are like the two to break out.
And us. Let's go. That was a joke.
Oh yeah, and us. For a second I didn't know what you said. I heard Das. Let's go. And I'm like,
well, thanks for the sympathy laugh anyway.
Yeah, that was a what the hell did you just say? And I was like, oh, okay. Oh yeah, we're like TikTok. What's that? You know
yeah,
I mean, TikTok.
Yeah, we're TikTokers actually. I wouldn't class myself as a TikToker, but I definitely wouldn't class myself as a YouTuber.
No, I'm much more of a TikToker than a YouTuber. No, we're actually podcasters.
Yeah, I'd rather. I think I'd identify more as a podcaster than a YouTuber.
Yeah, and we have more podcast content than YouTube content.
I guess that's
lengthwise.
Yeah, and do you think we've got more? I've probably got more TikTok content than podcast content.
Yeah, I
The question
definitely
is,
do.
when will it overtake?
That's the question.
This is like 60 TikToks in one.
You make a compelling point.
And I don't have
Eventually it'll
anything else
overtake
to review. That's all my news.
Yeah, I think I'm all done too.
reviews. Okay, so yeah, in 3 weeks' time, we will be talking about Black Widow and all of Loki. You would have seen all of it. Yeah. Anyway, do you want to talk about what we're doing next week?
Next week is going to be.
The guest's best.
Is it going? Okay, it's going to be guest.
We've recorded these out of order, just to say, and that's why when you listen to guest bests, you're going to hear me go, "Oh, I very recently watched Bad Education," and Harlan will be surprised to hear that, and then I'll go, "Today I watched Nobody," and then you're going to ask me how it is because we've already had these conversations. It's like time travel in Loki, but it makes more sense.
Yeah. And we're going to have on Peyton JB, who's another fellow TikTok creator, Film Talk, if you want to use that term.
Oh, and we'll be talking about The Way Back and lots of other stuff.
A little bit of Last Jedi. There's just a sprinkle of it.
Yeah, if you want homework for this week, watch The Way Back. It's a very good movie.
It is a good movie.
If you're from the UK like me, you can watch it on Disney Plus. If you're not, get stuffed. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, you gotta rent it, guys.
All our links are in the description and everything, you know.
Yes, they are.
And yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.
Adios.